Hello guys, hope you are doing good. So I'm here with a new video on SQL, especially in joins and wildcards for this time. So let's get started. So this is a sample template from the previous PowerPoint presentations. Before going for the joins, we'll have some glance on what all the things which we have discussed previously on video 1 and as well as in the video 2. So in the video 1, we have discussed what is SQL, the basic commands, where to use, where condition, and what is a select statement, what is this asterisk, all the basic things we have discussed in the first video, and the second video we have discussed about DDL and DML. So okay, now what is SQL actually? SQL is a structured query language. We use this SQL to access and manipulate the databases. Normally in the databases, the data will be in the format of the table. And there is another point here, that is a case sensitive. Actually, this is a structured query language, the SQL. There is a special advantage with the SQL is that the SQL is case sensitive. If we look at the other programming languages like C, C++, Java, Python, etc., those are case sensitive and those are very particular with whether A is capital or else small. Okay, SQL is not like that. We can use a capital letter or small letter according to our wish, right? And now coming to the further things. In this video, we are going to discuss about joins as well as the wildcards for this video. And in joins, there are various types of joins like inner join, left join, right join, full join, etc. And also we'll discuss what is wildcards and where we use wildcards more frequently. Actually, what is join? A join is a clause is used to combine two rows from two or more tables based on the related column between them. That's correct. That is, the thing is joining. Actually, the name itself suggests joining two things. Okay. Now, if we take the two tables, so we want to join it, and we need to have some a joining condition or a joining statement. In SQL, we need to write a joining statement or a SQL query so that the two tables will be joined. So what is the prerequisite? We can tell that what is a prerequisite to have a joining thing. So the prerequisite is a column needs to be same. I mean, a matching column will be there in the table 1 as well as in the table 2. Okay, that is a condition or that is a prerequisite. That is the sense, if you take the table 1 and table 2, if you want to join the two tables, the table 1 as well as in the table 2, there should be a common column. The one of the column should be same. With that, taking that particular column as a reference, the tuples or the rows will be printed or returned. Okay, now that is the joining process. If you want to go in deep about this joining, so we'll be taking a small example, a real life example, like a school administration. If you look at the school administration, and a principal requires a class 10 student marks in all subjects. Okay, so the administration team will be having only ID number as well as name. It will be not having any mark. What the administration team have done that is it sent a mail to the all 7 teachers, all how many the subjects is, to all the teachers requesting to send the marks of the students in the tabular form. Now all the teachers with the column name, ID number, name as well as their respective marks like Telugu or Hindi or English, Math, Science, Social, respective subject marks in the third column have sent to the administration team. Now here, if you look at, there are two columns in common here, that is ID number and name column will be common in all the teachers tables. By taking one of the column as a reference column, we will be joining all these tables and will be getting the details of a student marks. Now what the administration team will do is it will write a query joining all these tables and consolidating all these tables, and that will return the required ID number, student name as well as Telugu, Hindi, English, Math, Science, Social, marks. That is a real life example. And not only here, in various software projects, the data will be presented inside the columns, and the data engineer has to join the columns with different tables. So if we take the real life example of a banking project, so in one of the table, the customer loan details is be there, like how much loan did the customer have taken from the bank. In another table, how much money is there in his savings account. So the manager wants to look at the customer profile, like how much is the amount inside the savings account and how much the loan is there for that particular customer. He can easily join these two tables. Okay, that will be done in the backend process. The manager will not be doing that, writing a query inside the terminal. Now if we go further and discuss about the inner join, actually there are two tables named. I haven't written the name, assuming this is a maths table and this is a science table, and this is quite similar to the example we have taken before. Now inner join, what is inner join? Inner join is used to join the tables with the condition and two tables will be having a matching column. That is a basic prerequisite which we have discussed earlier. Now if we take the inner join, select star from maths, inner join science on maths dot name is equal to science. What is this maths dot name and science dot name? So select is a thing which we have discussed. Star, I mean asterisk also we have discussed. From maths, from say here, from maths table inner join science table on. So if you look at here, we have discussed that one of the column will be common in the two tables, that is name column is common. So on maths dot name is equal to science dot name. Whenever the attribute or the record which is same in this both the tables, that will be returned in the output table. Okay, you got my point. Inner joint is that. So it will join the two tables by analyzing, by taking the reference of one column. Whenever there is a common attribute in the two columns, sorry, in the two tables, that will be returned by joining the other two columns or the requested columns. We have requested all columns. We have requested all columns. That will print, I mean that will return all columns. Select from maths. This is a maths inner join. We are inner joining this table, science table, on by taking the reference as on. Whenever we are writing like representing one column in one table, so if at all if we write the name, so which name it has to, the terminal has to consider, whether the name from the maths column or the name from science column. So in order to represent that, first we will be writing the table name dot column name. Okay, table maths, inside the maths table there is a column called name. Inside the science table there is a column called name. Whenever the two things, the value inside this name in maths table is equal to the value inside this name column in science table, whenever these two fields are same, that will be returned first. Correspondingly, these two columns also will be joined according. That is a concept of inner join. I think you got some idea on what is join and what is inner join. So if you look at the left join, actually there is some difference between left join. So actually in the inner joint, what we have discussed, so we will be discussing in terms of Venn diagrams, assuming this is please don't mind about the circle. Okay, assuming these two are two tables, in the inner joint we have printed the common part, right? We have printed the common part. This part we have printed in inner joint. In the case of left join, assuming this is table A and this is table B, so in here this is left column and left table, and this is right table. This is right table. So this is left table and this is right table. In left join, the left table will be, entire left table will be printed first, and what all the things common here, what all the things common, that will be printed from the right table. All the tuples will not be printed in the right from the right table, but all the tuples in the left table will be printed first, and what all the values which are matching in the right table will be printed. Okay, now if you look at the example here, the same example from the previous inner join, if we here it select from maths left join science on maths dot name is equal to science dot name. Initially this will be printed first. This table, entire table will be printed first. After that, so what is the condition we have taken? That the right table will be printed according to this condition. Okay, whenever the value inside the name column in the maths table is equal to the value inside the name column in the science table, whenever these both the values are equal, that particular fields will be printed from the right table also. If at all there are no matching columns or no matching fields in the right table and left table, only left table will be printed. So in the case of inner joint, assuming this is inner joint, if there is no common columns inside these two fields, so if we consider the inner joint, we have printed this part, right? So assume here it is Rama, Krishna and Vishnu, and here it is something like Somu, Naga and some other name Sudarshan. So the fields are not matching, so the entire table will not be printed in the case of inner join. But where in the case of left join, anyhow the left table, left in the sense, so this is left table and this is right table, and assuming this as wall, the left join, the name left join, assuming this as wall, and the maths is in the LHS side and the science is in the RHS side. Anyhow, if sorry, if at all there is no column values in the name column in maths table and science table, the maths table will be printed, that is for sure. If at all there are same fields in these two columns, that fields will be printed. So that is the case in the left join. The same thing applies for the right join also. So in the right join, this is right table and this is left table. So whatever happens, this right table will be printed first. If at all Ram and Ram is same, that table, that details, the data will be taken from this table also. If at all assume I'll create something new. Assume this is Nithin. This is 1 2 3, and in the other side another table, same things, Kumar, money he is having, he is 1 2 3 4, and Varma, this is like this, and something like Kranti. So now what I will be doing is in the left join, so assuming left join, in the left join, this is left table, this is right table. In the left join, this table will be printed for sure and this table will be printed for sure in the left join, and I think there is some matching value here. There is no matching values, but anyhow this will be printed in the left join. But in the case in the right join, this table, anyhow this table will be printed and this table will not print because there is no name called Nithin inside this table and there is no name called Kumar, Varma, Kranti inside this table. Even though there is no matching values in these two columns, in left join this table will be printed and the right join this table will be printed. But in the case of inner join, no data will be printed because only common values will be printed in case of inner join. So that is a concept. Now if we consider the full join, in full join all tuples will be printed. Assuming these two tables, this is left join and this is right join. But in the case of full join, something like the table will be 1 2 3. So this will be name, ID and money. So please ignore this column. Here Nithin, his ID number is 1 2 3 4 and null value will be displayed in the money because that table is not representing any money. Now in the same way, Kumar, he is not having any ID number, null, and he is having 1 2 3 4 money. In the same way, Varma, null, 2 3 4 5. In the same way, Kranti, null. So this is the table for the full join. Anyhow, by considering this name column as reference, all the data will be printed. Where in the case of inner joint, no data will be printed if at all there is no common columns, common data inside the fields that we mentioned in the condition. No data will be printed inside the inner joint, and the left table will be printed inside the left joint. Right table for sure will be printed in the right joint. In the full joint, for sure both the tables will be printed. So that is the main logic. I'm repeating once again. Yeah, in the inner joint, only column tuples will be printed. And when in the case of left join, for sure left table will be printed and the column tuples in the right table will be printed, and which are matching with the fields that we mentioned in the condition. And in the right join, for sure right table will be printed, as well as the common fields inside the condition table. I mean that is satisfying the condition, that data will be printed from the left column also. And for the full join, for sure the both tables will be printed. If at all any column is absent in one of the table, or any name is not matching with the other table, that in that particular field null will be displayed. So coming to the wildcards. So normally wildcards, I think you have seen the two symbols called underscore as well as percentage. These two things. So before going for the wildcards, we need to learn something called like. What is this like term? So why we use like in SQL? Normally, if we consider this example, select star from maths where name is like this. If you want to print the values like name is like this, or marks is like 98, the all the tuples which is having of 98 marks will be displayed in that particular table or returned from that particular table. Okay, now actually I told you there are two things, one is underscore, another one is percentage. So what is this underscore and what is this percentage? In the place of percentage, there may be 0 or more than 0 characters will be present. Assuming this example, select star from maths where name like R percentage. In the percentage, in the sense, the starting letter has to be R, and I'm not bothered about the letters after the starting letter. In that case, we'll be using this percentage symbol. That means all the in the names column, what are all the fields which are starting with the letter R, that will be printed. In this case, only this tuple will be printed. Okay. And if I take in a query called select star from maths where name like K percentage, in the if we consider this K percentage, K starting letter K is Krishna, so this tuple will be printed or this tuple will be returned from the database. Okay, I think you got some idea. So if at all, not only this, if at all if you want to print the value whose letter, I mean whose word ending with U, suppose if you want to print this Vishnu, but and also if you want to print what all the tuples, and also if you want to print the names whose value is like at the end ending with U, and we can directly write as select, we can directly write as select star from maths. So we want to print with U, right, where name like and with U. So firstly percentage and U. So if we run this query, all the names which are ending with U, that may be Vishnu, not only all the names ending with U, not only Vishnu, any other names which are ending with U, that names will be returned. That is the use of this percentage. That in the sense, if we place a percentage here, that may contain one or more letters. This is especially to find the first letter or last letter or the middle letter also. I will tell you how the middle letter that can be used. The same thing if we print again, suppose if you want to if you want to print the values of a persons whose names contains U letter in the middle, not in the end, in the or not at the first, the U letter in the middle of the name, that tuples will be printed with this query. Okay, now if we consider the underscore symbol, this underscore symbol represent, what this actually represent is one letter or one character. So if we take the same thing, so if you want to print the Vishnu's character, Vishnu tuple, right? So what I do is ISHNU. So if I execute this query, Vishnu will be printed because before ISHNU only one character should be there, that is this. Okay, in that case we use wildcards. I'm repeating once again, like the percentage represent one or more characters, where in the case of underscore represent only exactly one character. So, and there will be some another example, we'll be taking some another example like the details of a person whose second letter is I. So in that case what we do is percentage. So this will print the tuples which are the names which are having the second letter as I. All the things will be printed. So we can write like this also, and we can write like this also, because percentage in the sense that will be containing one or more characters or no characters, that is no matter. And underscore represent one letter will be there before, only one tuple will be printed from here, that is Vishnu's tuple. I think you got an idea of what is wildcards. I think this will be the basics for wildcards, joins, DML and DDL in the previous video, select statement, how to write a command in the first video. I think we have covered most of the SQL things which will be helpful for running the SQL queries. And in the another video, we'll be learning the some commands I have missed, like alias and maximum, minimum, count. All these things will be discussed in the next video. Thank you for watching. Thank you.